that said, as good as he is, and I know he cheers those guys on, what Coop and Blackman did last weekend is really going to help. They're now recognized as guys that can make plays.
Yeah, they haven't earned their stripes yet, but they've made a few plays. You know, you have to do a lot more, and, you know, Coach Jones used to say that, you know, carrying the ball a few times when it's 72 degrees and making a play doesn't mean anything. You know, who can carry it 30 times when it's 100 degrees, take some hits, and come back and make a play? So they kind of fall in that category. But Dez is the biggest cheerleader we got. If you really watch the tape, and when we have somebody score a touchdown and he's away from the ball, instead of finishing the block, he's signaling touchdown and celebrating. Well, he needs to finish his block and let somebody else celebrate a touchdown. But he is a team player from that fact. He loves the other receivers and the other guys to have success.
Coach, after watching the tape on Sunday, did you figure out any way to get this offense started?
Not yet, but we're sure going to try to get it started. We'd like to put at least 3.5 quarters together to where we can, I don't know what we're averaging scoring, but if we can score a little earlier, you know, maybe we can get us 10 more points. But it's funny, but talk to the team about it and research and self-scout and try to find a way to start faster.
Mike, you and Zac both called his play Saturday average. The best teams in the country are getting great play out of quarterback.
That's right.
What is it there, do you think?
I'm not sure. Zac gives us everything he has. I don't think there's pressure on him. I really don't, because Zac and I have had a discussion that all I want him to do is to play to the highest level he can and give great effort. And that's all he can do. And that's something I mentioned earlier from a Kendall and a Dez and a Sexton and Parrish Cox, and it goes on down the line. Guys that people think are going to have a great year, they just need to go play. I think that early in camp, he missed 10, 12 days, however many, 14 days where he couldn't practice full speed. I think it affected him some. I said that last week. But he's healthy now, and we have 100% confidence in him to make plays. And, you kind of speak out of both sides of your mouth when you're standing in my shoes, because the teams that are winning, their quarterbacks play at a high level. And you can take a team that's very, very talented, or you can take a team that's medium, or a team that may not be as talented. If their quarterbacks can make plays, they got a chance. That's just the way it is. That's college football now. And whether you're a running quarterback, whether you're a throwing quarterback, or whether you're one of those guys that just does a little bit of both like Zac, if you perform at a high level, your team has a chance to win.
You say he's healthy. Sometimes guys are healthy, but they have that question in their mind, can I plant and make this move?
You're right on.
That's
I think so. Sure do. I think he'll overcome that, but I think that he's gone through some of that's affected him a little bit. I'm not making excuses for him. I'm just being honest with you. Zac doesn't want to make excuses for himself, nor I'm going to do it for him. But I think there's probably some truth to that. Will he overcome that? You bet, and I think he will.
Coach, as much as this loss stings, how important is it to relay to your guys that all the goals I'm sure you put on the board at the beginning of the season are really still attainable despite this loss?
Yeah, we have to, it goes back to every game's the biggest game. The next game is the biggest game in college football. And so our players have to practice well starting tonight and up through the week, because the next team will come in here, just like I had said last week. I don't have very many answers, but I do know the next team will come in here and try to play at a very high level. And with that being said, so you have to be on the top of your game. You've got to perform. You got to take care of the football. You got to eliminate big plays. You got to stop the run, and you got to be sound in special teams.
Mike, how concerned are you about the less number of big chunk running plays compared to what you've had previously? Is that a concern? Have you been able to identify why there haven't been as many big chunk rushing plays?
We need to do a better job of blocking downfield. That's one thing. But we live on chunk plays around here. We have for 3 or 4 years. And so when everything's blocked up inside, or if you hand a ball to a guy who's got a lot of ability and makes a player miss, if the blocking's good at the second level or third level, then you're going to get a big play. Your 6 and 8 yarders go to 18 and 25. So that's one of the areas we talked about as a coaching staff. We want to pride ourselves on our players giving great effort every play. And I don't believe in 110%. I believe in 100%. We do as a staff. And so give us 100%, and that consists of blocking downfield. And then the guys carrying the ball, whoever it may be, refusing to go down.
Obviously, you want to have Kendall out there if he's healthy. And Toaston's been very reliable. But did you notice something in Bo on Saturday? Because he hadn't really had a chance. He's been behind the other two.
No, we were pretty aware of that. Just hadn't had a chance to get him on the field. You guys that have watched practice in the spring, he's done that in the spring.
Now, a lot of times the JUCO guys, their second year, it's much better. Is that maybe the case with them as far as understanding things?
You get 15 games out of most of them. They go through a transition stage. The work ethic, the discipline, the structure, I'm not knocking junior college football, but it's just much different here. And the magnitude is greater. So they go through 3 or 4 or 5 months where they learn. Then they learn how to play to the speed of the game. It takes them 5, 6 games. And then you get 4 or 5 games out of them. Then they have a spring. They're with Rob Glass in the wintertime. Their bodies get back in really good condition, and then you get a year out of them. And so Bo probably could have been more productive for us last year, but the other guy was real productive, and he just never got a chance. But we're certainly glad to have both those guys.